back, everybody. April 6th. Dude, they're trucking. April 6th, out on a ride. The wife actually came up to me and was like, I need to get out of the house. I can't go shopping. Take me for a ride. That's exactly how it went. I'm not lying. I mean, that's how it went. That kind of voice too. It was quite creepy. Pretty out in that field. So I'm going to talk really quick about the Can-Am Spyder. I've been having some issues with some noise coming from the belt. I know the noise was coming from the belt being out of adjustment. The issue I had was the last time we had noise coming from this thing, the pulley was put on wrong, so it would not, no matter what you did, you could not get that belt to track properly. So my concerns were this time around that I was having pulley issues, because if you looked at the rear sprocket, the belt was well within the tolerances allowed, well within. It was probably about 1 millimeter, maybe 2 off the inside shoulder of the rear sprocket. So what I did is I pulled the front cover off, and it was the belt was up against the outside of the front sprocket, really close to the inside of the rear sprocket. You know, so what I've seen lately is these sprockets are wearing and they're kind of sucking in toward the transmission a little bit. So that was my fear. I just spent about 15 minutes. It's not done. I'm gonna make a video. It's just it's probably at spec, but I want it to be less than spec. But the noise is gone. The Spyder's running great. And tomorrow when I get off work, I'm going to readjust the belt, just loosen it just a tad. Like I said, I like running this belt a little looser than what they want it to be run at, just because of the issues I've had with this transmission. I don't want to put any type of wear and tear on that output bearing. But I think we're going to be fine, because it's just going to be a short little ride. And you know, this is the first ride we took on a Spyder, so I figured since she hasn't been on this one, you know, we'd just come down this beautiful little road. But you know, at 70,000 miles, I was really concerned, just to what I've gone on in the past with this Spyder and only this Spyder. You know, that I had another front pulley issue, but you know, I don't think I do, to be honest with you. I think it was just a misaligned belt, and you know, we're going to get that thing adjusted up perfectly. And like I said, it's going to be just on the loose side. And then I'm going to install the new shock that I received last fall that I have not been able to get to yet, because I don't have a garage and I'm not going out when it's raining and or snowing to put a rear shock on this. But we went with the Elky Stage 2. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna have a video on it. It's very adjustable. It has 2 springs, a very soft spring for a very comfortable ride, and then a harder spring once you start throwing the Spyder around. And we got it because my daughter is going to be riding with me a lot more this year, just to get her out of the house, keep her mentally as strong as possible. And come on, man, who wouldn't want to go for a Spyder ride? So that video to come. I'll probably just jump right to the video of me adjusting this belt. And stay safe, everybody. It is a crazy time that we live in right now, but you know, I promise you we're going to get through this one. See you down the road.
Ooh, sun. Welcome back, everybody. Trying to get out of the sun here a little bit. Working on the Can-Am Spyder. I've been having some issues. The last video that I put up on the 4th day, I was concerned about a transmission issue. I was getting a lot of belt noise. The last time I had this much belt noise, I had a front pulley fail on me. So today I'm going to show you how to adjust the belt, what I use to check the tightness. It is not the proper way of doing it, so you know, be careful if you do it this way. And then the issue I ran into why I was getting so much noise. So this is my 2015 Can-Am Spyder, and here's the front pulley. Why I was getting so much noise is the front belt, or I'm sorry, the belt was actually rubbing the flange, the outer part of the flange on that front pulley. And I knew it was a belt noise. There was no doubt in my mind, but I didn't know the condition of this pulley. So they say you need to look for red powder. So I've looked around and I really don't see any red powder. There's none being thrown up over here or anything. So I don't think I'm going through the splines. I think it was just a belt that was way out of adjustment. Then on the rear, and why I got to thinking it was more of a front pulley issue is, I think, and don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's between 1 and 3 millimeters is where they want this belt to be away from that flange. So mine was well within spec. So that's why I was concerned. You know, if that front pulley was coming apart and was sucked in a little bit, that would explain why that belt was out of adjustment. So I got rid of the noise, but the belt's just a little too tight for how I want it to be. I'm very conservative with my belt adjustments. I keep them on the looser side. I get a little bit more vibration out of them, but I don't want to go through that front pulley. So if you look at this, that belt is right up against the flange, or so it looks. I can get my fingernail in between there. And then same with the front. I can get my fingernail through there. And that's just how it's going to have to be. I wish it was out a little bit further. But you know, it is what it is. As long as this thing's not going down the road making all sorts of noise and I'm not destroying my transmission, I really don't care. So the first thing you have to do is jack your Spyder up. I jack it up so the rear tire is not hitting. You can chock the front if you want. What I use to check how tight it is this is a cricket. And you set this all the way down. You lay this up against the belt and you push straight up and you'll hear it go click. So you'll hear it go click. And this is right at 200. Now, if it was right at 200 when this thing was down on the ground, I'd be okay. But it's not, it's closer to like 270. So I want to back it down just a little bit. I would like it at 200, maybe 240 at the most, with this thing down on the ground. And all you do is start your Spyder. It's in neutral. Hit the little green button. Flop it into gear. That's why it's important to have everything off the ground. Now your wheel's spinning. It's that simple. You take your 6 millimeter. So I need to loosen this belt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this one and this one the same amount. So if I do 4 turns on this side, I'm doing 4 turns on that side, and I'm drawing that tire back up. And you're going to see this belt walk back and forth. That's how you get the alignment. So, don't fear if you get an ABS DSS fault code. What happens is your front tires are not spinning, your rear is. So, of course, the Spyder thinks that you're just sitting there doing a gnarly burnout because the front tires aren't turning. It kicks that ABS light, traction control, stability, all that crap. Once you're done, all you gotta do is shut the Spyder off, drive it. By the time you get halfway down the block, you're gonna be good to go. So I'm gonna adjust this a little softer, and I'm gonna be done. And that's how I do it. It's not hard. It should only take about 15 minutes. When I was having issues, it took me 6 hours one day because that pulley was so far out, I could not get the belt even on the rear pulley. So there we go. If you got any questions, drop them below. This is just something super quick. This is how I do it, and I'm gonna get this knocked out so I can get back in the house. Stay safe, everybody.